Aftab Kamal Pasha is the former director of Gulf Studies at Jawaharlal Nehru University. He joins us now from New Delhi. Great to have you on the program. Shall we have a very quick history lesson? The Americans with Maurice Bishop in Grenada in the 1980s, more recently with Saddam Hussein in Iraq. NATO probably was responsible for the fall of Muammar Gaddafi. I thought history is supposed to teach us what not to do.
Yes, precisely. But the United States doesn't seem to have learned its lessons from all the instances you cited. Although President Trump, during the entire campaign, he promised non-involvement in future wars. But the deep state in the United States, along with the Jewish lobby and the military-industrial complex especially, is pushing America's involvement in this war, which is going to be a quagmire, because Netanyahu has been planning for U.S. involvement in this campaign against Iran in the pretext of nuclear facilities, although Iran has made it very clear that they are not interested in making a bomb. Now that Netanyahu has been unable to achieve his primary objective of dismantling the Iranian nuclear issue, now he's shifting to regime change, which is actually the agenda of the deep state because of their inability to bring about change in Russia through Ukraine. Now they want to take over, like in Syria, Iran also, and destabilize Russia and ultimately China. So the deep state is manipulating Donald Trump through the Jewish lobby, and both seem to be scratching each other's back at the cost of the American people, who have suffered enormously because of this involvement in Afghanistan, to Iraq, to Syria, to Libya, and Ukraine, and all the trillions of dollars of American taxpayers' money has been wasted for this Zionist Jewish area to dominate this region, and there is absolutely no way they can annihilate Iran without suffering incalculable damage to the Jewish states, which has become obvious. Their invincibility has been challenged, their air superiority has been dismantled virtually, and all the 5 layers of air defense from the American third to the Jordanian, the Patriot, the Iron Dome, and David Sling cannot stop the Iranian missiles, and the launches are continuing from Beersheba in the Negev to the Galilee, and from Haifa to Tel Aviv, Jerusalem. Netanyahu asked for it for his political survival, and now he wants the Americans to rescue. I think Donald Trump is under tremendous pressure from the MAGA group not to get involved. But let's see how, if Trump becomes an obstacle, will they get rid of Trump and manipulate through J.D. Vance? That remains a big question. But there's absolutely no doubt that this will lead to catastrophic involvement in the Gulf situation, because the American bases are spread over, and Iran has promised to retaliate, and that will send the oil and gas prices and world economy in a very difficult situation. Neither the Russians and the Chinese are helping Iran too much. They are just watching the sideshow. But the entire world is looking for the American leadership. How will they shape whatever is left of the United States influence in this region, because of their double policy on Ukraine and Gaza?
Aftab, if you don't mind, we'll run out of. Aftab, if you don't mind, I will interrupt you because we'll run out of time. You're talking about American leadership. It's absolutely critical in this particular case that we're discussing. So more history. Possibly one of the most shocking things President Trump has ever said, when he was standing with Vladimir Putin in Helsinki during his first term and said to the media, yeah, I would believe Vladimir Putin over my own intelligence agencies. And now he's saying he doesn't care if his own director of national intelligence testifies, as she did in March, saying that, no, Iran is not building a nuclear weapon. What does that say about President Trump?
President Trump has shown his vacillating attitude, he's fickle-minded, he's unpredictable, and the last person who speaks to him, he gets impressed, and he forgets his core duty and core values to which he was elected I mean, this kind of unpredictability is very dangerous, not only for the world, but more so for the United States, which the entire world is looking for its leadership in such critical areas. And if he were to vacillate and waver from one place to the other, this is going to be catastrophic, and whole world will regret, particularly the American people who are now sandwiched between what he had told them during the election and what actually he is going to do in such critical moments. So, it is a very dicey situation, and I think world leaders also should play a role. Putin, particularly, I think, has to speak to Donald Trump forcefully on this issue.
Aftab, Kamal, Pasha, thank you so much.